Welcome back, friends and family. I'd like to share with you today what I plan to grow in my garden in 2022. So we're going to start with my flowers, and they are going to be, well, some of them are going to be planted. The nasturtiums will be planted in the upper front planter box that's in front of the cabin, and we are going to plant Purple Empire, Fiesta Blend, and then in the garden we are going to plant sunflowers and zinnias, and the sunflowers are going to be planted on the back where they were planted last year, and we're going to do an Autumn Beauty and a Mammoth, and then I'm going to start some seeds, some zinnia seeds, and I'm not sure where I'm going to plant those, but my zinnia seeds that I have today are the peppermint, and I like how these are different colors, white and pink. And then I also have another one called the Candy Cane Mix, and I planted that one last year as well in the middle of the biggest bed that I have right down the middle of the garden. And then I also have Canary Bird Zinnia. These will probably all be planted right as you come into the entrance off of either side of the garden, right next to the fence. And I also have in that area right now, I have some forsythia and what's that other one? A hydrangea. A hydrangea I have in a pot there as well. And those are all stay in that area. And so I have a few beans that I like to grow this year. I'm planning to grow a French fillet, which is one of my favorites, and I grow that every year. And this one is by Botanical Interests. And then I also have a new one that I got. It's a tender green bush bean by Fairy Morris. And I have that one. And I also have another one, an heirloom. It's Tempeh de Farce. It's a Fard Hook Burpee blend. And that's that one. And I also have, oh, I need to get that one. I forgot to break it out. It is a Old Homestead by Baker Creek. I'm going to try this one this year. It's new. I think I'm going to start those seeds at the bottom of my sunflowers and then have them grow up. Oh, and another one I like to plant is a Golden Gate Romano. This was my dad's favorite bean. This is also a climbing bean, but they do make it in a bush bean, and I think I'm going to try to find the bush bean variety. I like it a little bit better. And then we're going to go on to peas. My favorite type of pea and my husband's favorite type is a sugar snap, and those are planted right now on the back fence where the sunflowers are planted, and hopefully we can succession plant those maybe one more time, and then add the beans that are going to climb up the sunflowers at a later date. I also have 3 cucumbers I'm going to try this year. I have the Baker Creek Beet Alpha, which is what I grew last year, and it is absolutely amazing. It was good in pickling, and it was good for plain eating. It's one of my favorites. And then another one by Baker Creek is Dar Cucumber, and I tried it last year and it didn't do really well. I grew it in a grow pot, and I think that that was my biggest mistake. And we're gonna grow an Armenian cucumber, which is a really good favorite as well. I've grown that one in the past, but I haven't grown that in about 6 years. One of my favorite ways of eating that is to slice it really thin and eat it with a piece of salami. Use it semi like a cracker. I'll also be growing a Taro Shindua kale, which is the flat leaf kale, and a red Russian, a curly leaf kale this year. I have romaine lettuce growing right now, and I'm going to add to that mix a Paris Island by Fairy Morris, and it's similar to a romaine. And our tried and true, which one is this one? Butter Crunch lettuce. We like that one a lot. Let's move on to the squash. So every year we grow 1 or 2 large plants of like a Big Macs or a large pumpkin. And this one is, this year we have a Ed Hume one I'm going to be starting here pretty soon, and that's the world's largest pumpkin. Atlantic Giant, which is my husband's absolute favorite thing to grow, are pumpkins. And then in that mix, I think I'm going to throw in a smaller early sugar pie pumpkin. We've grown that one in the past. And for, a butternut squash and a spaghetti squash, which I got 5 spaghetti squash off of 2 plants last year, and we still have 1 or 2 in the kitchen that we need to use up pretty quick. And this year I think I can find room for an acorn squash, which is something that we both like to eat as well. And for the summer squash, we are going to try the seeds that I saved from a Hubbard squash a couple years back. It's a little baby blue Hubbard. I'm going to try growing a couple of those too, see how they work. Who knows what we'll get out of that. And we're also going to try a dark zucchini. We love our zucchini around here, so we'll probably grow more plants than we need. And the early white butter squash as well. And then I might grow a crookneck, a yellow crookneck squash. I don't know if I have any seed for that, but I'll pick one up. What else are we growing this year? We're growing tomatoes and peppers. I will go through the peppers that I'm going to start for our homestead use, house use, and then I will also tell you which ones that we're going to be starting for sale. And we'll have a few of those for sale in May. So we are going to do a Hungarian hot wax, which is one that we grew last year that we liked, and a couple bell peppers, and heirloom Italian sweet pepper mix, and the classic jalapeno. I'm going to try what they call cowboy candy this year when I do my canning, and that should be something fun to use. And a sweet banana pepper, because we do like our pepperoncinis pickled. And I'll have the pepperoncinis, the Hungarian wax, and I think the Italian sweet pepper will be the ones that we'll have for sale. And now we can go on to the tomatoes. I only have a room for about 14 plants in the hothouse. I think I have 10 varieties I'll be starting this year. So most of these are Baker Creek. Actually, I think all these packets are Baker Creek. Pink Bumblebee, Solar Flare, Mortgage Lifter, and a Kellogg's Breakfast, Hungarian Heart, and this is going to be a new one, Brad's Atomic Grape, and Bonnie's Best, and my favorite all-time tomato is a Paul Robeson. It is amazing. We used that and a San Marzano last year for our homemade salsa, and that was absolutely to die for. It was so good. And then this year I'm also going to plant a green zebra, and first green tomato I've ever started from seed and grown. And we're also going to start a striped Romano and Aunt Ruby's German green right here, and a Hartman's yellow gooseberry. And those are my tomato varieties, and I think there are more than 10. I'm only going to put 14 though in the greenhouse, and most of them will be, or the doubles will probably be the Paul Robeson. And I think that's about all we're going to be growing. I have a raspberry plant that I purchased, and that should be here sometime this coming week, and I bought that from Stark Brothers. And I also purchased 20 crowns of asparagus, so we're gonna have to find room for asparagus. And oh, I forgot, we're also planting a bed of russet potatoes, a bed of Yukon Golds, and a bed of just the regular rose potato, a red potato. And I usually just purchase my potatoes from the grocery store, usually in 3 or 5 pound bags, and I let them set out and do their thing, and they do great in the ground. And let's see, I think I have 20 pounds of potatoes that I'm planting this year, so we'll see what our yield will be at the end of the year. And that's probably gonna be the end of the video for now. And I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and take care, and I'll see you on the next one.